I tested all of the best smart TVs of 2026, and in this video, I am going to rank them in a tier list based on their value for money, overall performance, and more. Links to all of the products will be in the description below. Hisense QD-OLED. This budget-friendly QLED is okay for bright rooms, since it gets surprisingly bright for the price, but the motion handling is honestly a letdown with some serious blur during fast action. It lacks a local dimming feature, which means dark scenes often look a bit washed out and gray instead of having those deep blacks we all want. If you're looking for a simple TV for a secondary room and don't care about high-end gaming or movies, it's fine, but I'm putting this one in the average tier. I'm looking at this as a step up, since it actually uses mini-LED tech to give you better contrast and deeper blacks, though the viewing angles are still pretty narrow. While the picture quality is punchy for a budget set, the lack of 120Hz support and limited HDMI 2.1 features really hold it back for serious gamers. It's a solid value pick for someone who wants a premium look without the price tag, and for that reason, I'm placing it in the average tier. Now we're talking. This thing is an absolute brightness monster that makes HDR highlights pop so hard they almost hurt your eyes in a dark room. It handles black levels beautifully with its advanced local dimming, though the color accuracy out of the box isn't perfect for the real purists out there. This is the go-to for anyone with a bright living room or a dedicated home theater who wants massive impact, so I'm ranking this in the great tier. Roku Pro Series. I was actually shocked at how much better this second-gen model is, especially with the improved mini-LED backlight and that super snappy Roku OS we all know. The picture is vibrant and bright, but the image processing still isn't quite on the level of the top-tier brands, and you lose some detail when watching from the side. It's a fantastic all-rounder for people who want a simple, high-performance TV that just works, and I'm comfortably putting it in the great tier. Samsung S95F. This is peak television right here, featuring a QD-OLED panel that hits insane brightness levels while maintaining those perfect inky blacks that only OLED can deliver. The new anti-glare coating is like magic for daytime viewing, and with a 165Hz refresh rate, it's basically a dream come true for high-end PC gamers. If you want the absolute best of the best and don't mind the premium price tag, this is the one, and I'm obviously giving it the God tier. LG C5. This beast takes everything I loved about the previous model and cranks up the brightness so high you'll actually want to use it in a sunny living room. It handles 4K gaming at 144Hz like an absolute champ, giving you that buttery smooth motion that makes every other screen feel broken. I honestly can't find many faults here other than the slightly dim game mode, but for pure cinematic immersion and responsiveness, I'm putting this straight into God tier. TCL C6K. If you're hunting for a deal, this one gives you a massive mini-LED punch without draining your entire bank account. I'm impressed by how vibrant the QLED colors look right out of the box, though you'll definitely notice it struggles to hit those super bright HDR highlights in really demanding scenes. It's a fantastic choice for anyone who wants a solid smart TV experience on a budget, and for that reason, I'm ranking it in the good tier. LG B5. This is the perfect gateway drug into the world of OLED because it delivers those deep, infinite blacks without the massive price tag of the higher-end models. You get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports for all your consoles, but I have to be honest, it's not a huge leap over last year's tech, and it still fights a losing battle against heavy glare. It's an incredible value for gamers who don't need the absolute peak brightness of the C5, so I'm placing it in the great tier. I am genuinely blown away by how this mini-LED panel manages to look almost exactly like an OLED while pushing out insane levels of brightness. The upscaling is easily the best in the business, making even older content look crisp and modern, though it only having 2 HDMI 2.1 ports is a bit of a letdown for us power users. It is a premium masterpiece for bright rooms and high-end home theaters, so I'm definitely locking this into God tier. The Hisense U7. This set is an absolute powerhouse for the price, especially if you're a sports fan or a gamer who needs that 144Hz refresh rate. It's got a ton of punchy brightness that helps it stand out in well-lit rooms, but keep an eye out for some dirty screen effect in the corners during fast action. It's a total bang-for-your-buck winner. It makes a lot of sense for a secondary room or a dedicated gaming setup, which is why I have it in the good tier. LG G5. This thing is a total monster when it comes to sheer brightness, utilizing that new primary RGB tandem panel to push highlights that actually made me squint. It hits an insane 165 Hz refresh rate, which is a dream for PC gaming, though you might notice some slight stutter in slow cinematic shots due to those nearly instant response times. Honestly, if you want the absolute peak of what OLED can do right now with zero compromises on punch, I'm putting this straight into God tier. Samsung S90F. I love how this panel brings that QD-OLED color vibrancy down to a much more reasonable price point without stripping away the essential features like 144 Hz support and great AI upscaling. While the blacks can look a little purple or raised if you've got a massive window right across from it, the motion handling and gaming feel are still top of the line for anyone who isn't ready to drop flagship money. It's a fantastic value pick for a high-end home theater, and because it punches so far above its weight, I'm locking it into the great tier. Hisense U8QG. This is the brightness king for people who don't want to worry about burn-in or babying their screen, reaching eye-searing peaks of 5,000 nits that make HDR content look absolutely wild. You do lose out on those perfect OLED viewing angles, and the sound is a bit thin despite the built-in sub, but for a bright living room or a massive 85-inch gaming setup, the value here is just unbeatable. For proving that mini-LED can actually trade blows with the big boys at half the price, I'm ranking it in the great tier. Panasonic Z95A. This TV is a masterpiece for the purists because it includes an integrated 360-degree sound system that actually replaces the need for a separate soundbar for most people. The MLA panel tech delivers some of the best HDR accuracy I've ever seen, though the Fire TV interface can be a little clunky compared to Google TV. Because it offers the most complete, all-in-one cinematic experience you can buy today, I have no choice but to place it in God tier. Sony Bravia 8 and 9. If you care about seeing a movie exactly how the director intended, the processing on this QD-OLED is basically black magic. It has the most natural-looking textures and colors I've ever seen, and the way the screen itself vibrates to produce sound makes for incredible dialogue clarity. It lacks the fourth HDMI 2.1 port, which is a huge bummer for collectors, but the sheer beauty of the image makes it my personal favorite, so I'm putting it in God tier. The TCL QM7K. This thing is a total beast if you want that premium mini-LED experience without the soul-crushing price tag, rocking an insane 3,000 nits of peak brightness that actually makes HDR pop. The halo control is a lifesaver for movie nights because it keeps that annoying blooming around bright objects to a minimum, though you might deal with some screen reflections if your room is super bright. It's a dream for gamers who need that 144 Hz refresh rate, but I'm honestly not a fan of the new slanted foot design that makes sitting a soundbar underneath a total pain. I've spent a lot of time looking at the contrast and viewing angles on this model, and for the value you're getting, I am comfortably putting this in the great tier. TCL QM6K. If you're trying to be smart with your money but still want a TV that can handle high-end gaming, this budget-friendly mini-LED is a surprisingly solid pick. It manages to pack in a 144 Hz refresh rate and even hits 288 Hz at 1080p for the competitive crowd, which is wild for an entry-level model. You'll notice the brightness and local dimming aren't quite as refined as its bigger brothers, and it struggles a bit with pixel transitions at lower frame rates. It's definitely the Goldilocks choice for someone who wants the basics of premium tech without the premium tax, so I'm slotting this right into the good tier. Samsung QN90F. I am absolutely obsessed with the new glare-free tech on this panel because it literally eats reflections for breakfast, making it the ultimate choice for a sun-drenched living room. The NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor does some heavy lifting to make even low-res content look sharp, and that 165 Hz gaming support is just buttery smooth. It's frustrating that Samsung still refuses to give us Dolby Vision, and the price is definitely on the steeper side compared to the competition. Despite those gripes, the sheer brightness and polished Tizen OS experience make it a top contender, and that's why I'm placing it in the great tier. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the best smart TVs for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.